The collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love. What we ask of you is to sit and listen. Listen to that vibration, listen to that frequency. For it is this vibration that you seek. This is where the information, the understanding, the teachings, and the healings reside. So allow yourself to be immersed in this vibration now. For this journey that you have been on, this human experience, this passing of time, you find yourself in these, shall it be understood, cycles. Whether that is your daily cycle of 24 hours, your monthly cycle of 30 days, 12 months, years, they're all a cycle. And why is it important for the human experience to have cycles in their experience, their lifetimes? Notice, lifetimes, not just one. The cycles are important because this is where, shall it be understood, the true meaning to your existence takes place. Even in the minute that has just preceded. That is a cycle. What have you learned in that minute? What have you learned just in that second? But it is a bit more complicated from your awareness point, because then you begin to understand the extent of time. And why is it important that these cycles must be in place? Why can you not live in a life without cycles, without time? That is the most important question. For your existence outside of your humanness, that divine essence, when you transition out of this physical vessel, time does not exist. Time is just but merely a construct for the physicality. But see, it is now when you are in this human form that you take these cycles for granted. That you know that this minute has passed and the minute that you're in is current, and you know there will be another minute coming. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You understand the process, you understand the cycle, you understand the timing. But why is this all important? Yes, you are coming to a close now, here, at this calendar year, and you'll begin another yearly cycle, broken up into smaller segments. But when you begin to understand how you can operate between those moments, whether it is between the months, between the days, between the minutes and seconds, you begin to understand how you can extend your experiences. Now, it is while you are in the dream state that you can do this. You can extend those experiences. Because even in the dream state, your physicality has been, in terms, it is at rest. Your physicality is at rest, but yet your divine, your soul is out doing its business. And so you can extend those periods of time. You get to play with it a bit differently than you do in your physicality. But you can do the same here in your physicality. It isn't difficult. Many of you have experienced this in your lifetimes. Those moments where time just seems to slip away. Those moments where you find yourself, whether it is in your vehicle as you're traveling and the miles just seem to pass, those minutes seem to pass, and yet you arrive and you don't understand where those moments have gone. You've extended and slipped into a period of time that doesn't exist, but yet you still existed. You existed in that time frame, but your consciousness was somewhere else. Your humanness took over and did the physical operations. For those that find themselves in tasks that are repetitive, you find yourself manipulating time. But you do not focus on that. You do not take that as something that you can utilize for you. Now, many that meditate find themselves in those moments of quiet. It is understanding that you are piercing between those moments of time. You are opening windows and portals of experiences that do allow you to slip away. But once you're out of the meditation, it is all lost. So it is here to explain to you, to begin to remember that you can, if you wish to look at it, manipulate the time that you exist in, and this is purposeful. Because time is speeding up. The reality points and your future is, if you wish to look upon it, not in a detriment way, but in a way in which it is collapsing upon itself. Timelines are collapsing upon themselves. Time itself is speeding up. And so what you believe is taking place is that, yes, time is slipping away because it is speeding up and you are wishing to do more, but yet you feel as if you do not have enough time. It is to reverse that. It is to get that time back. It is to focus on self in a way in which you understand that every moment that you exist, every second, every millisecond, that is yours. It is to have intention and focus for every single aspect of your existence and be witness to it. And when you can find yourself in those moments that you're witnessing to yourself of every moment that's before you, this is where you begin to play between the spaces of time. This is where you begin to extend those moments. And what does that feel like? Think of those moments where you may have been outside and a beautiful bird is perched in a tree and you spend a few moments speaking to the bird, looking at it, taking it in, and you find yourself lost in that moment. That's exactly how it feels. That moment fills you with gratitude, that fills you with love, it fills you with the essence of existence. That is that space that you can control. Do not allow this life just to slip through your fingers. Do not allow it to speed along. There is too much that is out in front of you to take in. Timelines, yes, are changing. Timelines are collapsing. Time is speeding up. If you understand how time in your linear fashion is on a continuum. And it is understanding, yes, ascension is approaching for many. That timeline is still existent. But when you can come into an awareness of this understanding of every moment that you hold at hand, it is for yours to cherish. Then you control how fast or how slow that moment is. And the more you can allow that to be present in your existence, you begin to see the true beauty in everything around you. You begin to lose yourself in those moments of cherishing what is in front of you. So, This life is an experience. These lives have been an experience. They are all purposeful, but many allow them to slip through your fingers. Do not allow that to take place. Every moment is purposeful. Every breath is purposeful. For you are a divine being placed here upon this planet now for a divine experience in consciousness. And this is a mission of sorts. It is to raise that consciousness. Many of you are experiencing it. Allow this to be how you perceive this next coming cycle, this next evolution of your own existence. This is what lies before you. Before, if you have questions, please begin.
Thank you so much. Debbie W. is looking for insight regarding her relationship with her parents as they age.
For when you look upon your lifetime, just as it has been expressed, age is that expression of time, that expression of moment after moment. Now, how do you perceive that? How in your existence do you perceive that? Is there a bit of fear within that perception? Is there a bit of challenge within that? See, it isn't to look upon parents or friends or anyone else that you have a relationship as they begin to age in front of you, that they're any different, that there is something that there's something that needs to be changed. There needs to be something to make them young again. For the human body itself has to cycle through this aspect of existence. Birth and death. That is the cycle. But all in between, no matter how old or how young, it is what do you hold in your heart? What of those moments, what of those segments of time, what of those precious experiences do you hold in your heart? How many of them do you hold there? And you can take reflection throughout your life and take an inventory of sorts, snapshots of that life, and begin to paint a beautiful tapestry of their existence. And how do you support that? How do you move forward and assist with that? It is not only for you to cherish those moments, but it is also for you to share those moments, to elicit those memories. If you wish to see those young expressions again, that expression of the inner child, share those memories. This is for all to understand that everyone, whether you have a parent or a friend or an acquaintance that is aging, this isn't to allow them to age quietly and just drift off into transition. It is to bring forth those memories of what they've done and who they are and what they've experienced so they can tell the stories. See, the stories are snapshots of time. This is why it is important to understand time and how you can work within it. And it is sharing your experiences with them, the snapshots of time. This changes the dynamic. This changes the energetic synchronization between you and those around you. So, yes, that is how you can find yourself in a place of assistance and fulfilling your understanding of this. It isn't to just allow it to quietly continue, but it is to bring back those memories that allows the youth to come forward once again.
Lovely, thank you. Chris S. wonders what she needs to know about her upcoming trip to England and Scotland, please.
For allow this journey to unfold through your humanness. Allow yourself to fully invest yourself into this journey, but not in a way in which you seek out those enlightened moments, because those enlightened moments are going to be shown to you. It isn't for you to seek them out, though you may have an itinerary of what you wish to see. What's going to come flooding back in are those past lives, those memories. For it'll be as if it is a picture book that begins to unfold in front of you, and the pages that they flip, they begin to flip faster, and the movie begins to play out in front of you. There is going to be a rekindling that is going to take place, a rekindling of your own soul. And so it isn't necessary to seek, because it is going to be provided. So this is why it is said to go in your humanness. Invest in your humanness to explore it as you're human. Because what's going to unfold in front of you is a very deep rekindling of your own life.
Awesome, thank you. Barbara B. wonders, as her body changes during menopause, what are some practices, exercises, foods, or other suggestions so that she can feel better and younger, please?
For one, it is to understand this human body that you exist in. It is how you change the framework, the energetic framework. The one of eliminating the expectation of challenge through this period of time. It is recalibrating it to be an acceptance, in gratitude that your physical body has brought you to this point. And see, it is restructuring the framework of your existence vibrationally, so that, yes, as your body is transitioning through this period, energetically you can support it and listen to it. Now, what can you do physically? It is to begin to shift your framework of quietness, meditation of sorts, but this finding solitude. Because during this period, it is a period of reflection. It is a milestone in your human form's progress. And it is to have this memory of this lifetime, of what has taken place up to this point. This too is to support you, to bring back memories of the past, to allow you to feel the past. This is necessary. This is a cycle that is taking place that does need sustainment. And by the memories of this life, and what you have done, and who you have met, and all of the experiences, this will support it. It is also changing you vibrationally, how you perceive yourself in this life. It is accepting yourself as a divine being, a pure divine being, ready for the next mission, ready to continue on. There is much more that is before you. And then physically, what can you do to support it? Nourishment-wise, for it is infusing your intake of foods with those foods with the perfect signature to your vibration. Now, what are those foods? The list is many, but this is how you understand it. It is how you are drawn to particular points of sustenance, food, and it is allowing yourself to energetically align yourself with it appropriately so that it sustains you in this transition period. Not all foods will, but you, as you hold them, if it's water, surround it with your hands. If it's an apple, if it's a banana, if it's some other vegetable or fruit, allow yourself to grasp it. You'll know immediately if this is to support that transition period. And it will shift. But any item that you take in, it is how you align with it. You'll find some that will express through the body in a very cooling manner, lowering the temperature within. Others will raise that temperature, just as you need it. Now, it is coming into balance with all aspects of self. Food, energy, and even what you take in through your ears. It is how that changes the dynamic of your existence. You're in a period of change, transition. You must honor that, but you must take time for self to do so.
Excellent, thank you. Wendy B., we've heard in several different transmissions that there are portals and vortexes in her area that need to be opened or cleared. How can she help with this? Do you have specific steps that would be required?
First, it is to indicate energetically where those portals and vortices are. Now, you have to understand about vortices, they will shift from location to location, but they will not expand beyond a very large geographic area. They'll be contained within a region, a walkable region. And this is necessary. The portals will remain. Now, you must identify them. How do you do so? Allow yourself, there's several different manners. If you're familiar with how to utilize the apparatus of dowsing, this will indicate where those energy forms are, where the vortices and portals are. Each will give a different signature upon the rods, and you will feel it immediately through your arms. Then indicate that upon the earth. Whether you stack stones, place a flag, it is indicating where they are and mapping that for yourself. Then, this is just the signature points. Then, once you have it mapped and once you understand where on your land and in the region they are, then it is to take time in certain quadrants of that area to be present. Here, you can utilize crystals if you wish, even crystals from the ground that exist, placing them one in each hand, and using those as a resonator of sorts. As you infuse your energy through those crystals, you focus on that particular vortice that may be between your feet. This is, say, jump starting, opening it just a bit so that the vortice then can begin its process of emerging out. Just like a flower begins to bloom in spring, here you're doing the similar process. You're aiding it by giving it just enough energy to begin its process. You can also do the same thing with a portal. Now, portals are going to be a bit different. Crystals will not be fully utilized at this point. This is more of the human body's presence just on the outskirts. If you've pinned a location several steps back, it is to open your arms and create a space of energy around it, a container of sorts. And this will be in place. Think of it as an egg that you've just placed upon the ground. And it is there to amplify any of the new energies of the portal until it breaks through. It is an incubator of sorts for that. But you understand that you've placed it there. You move on to the next and you continue the process. Then, once you've done this for all that's in the area, then you go back and you check and you stand with it and you understand where it feels it needs to be amplified or it's just fine. At particular points, you'll understand there's no more action needed. It has been activated and it will be in presence for you. Then the next process takes place of you working with those vortices and portals.
Another question for another month. Thank you for that. Helen wonders, what does she need to know and do for her highest good in this lifetime, please?
This lifetime, it is to understand where you've come from, and not in a physical sense. But all of those lifetimes that have been lived, those experiences of the past, and you'll understand why here in a moment. For you've accumulated a number of lifetimes. More than you would be able to count. These lifetimes are important for this lifetime now. You have done work within self, but it is understanding how far back you've existed. Because here in this lifetime there is change ahead. And it is the knowledge that you are going to pull through from those past lives. Now, it isn't that you have a book in front of you, it isn't a manuscript of all of those lifetimes, but it is there already ingrained in you. As you move forward in this life, it is honoring those lifetimes. You don't have to know each one and what you were and who you were and what you've done. But in a general sense, it is honoring those lifetimes. It is coming to acceptance that you are here purposefully now for others. In a greater sense of healing, in a greater sense of teaching, in a greater sense of existence, just your existence with others. That's all that is required. But you're drawing upon all of this information, this knowledge now, so that it can emanate through you. You are a transmitter of those ancient expressions of self. So you may ask, well, what should I do with all of this information? It is to do exactly what you are doing, but having a recognition of it. It is being with others and allowing it to emanate through you. You don't need to teach, you don't need to speak it. Think of it as a crystal that's been encoded for billions of years of knowledge. You hold that within yourself, and just by you vibrating your expression of yourself with others, it is transmitting out to them. They are receiving it. Just as you receive downloads, they're receiving a download from you of all of this ancient knowledge, and it is changing their life. So, to support yourself, your higher existence, moving forward, now you can begin to explore. Explore those past lives if you wish through regression. Allow yourself in meditation to explore the depths of your lifetimes. In the dream state, call them forward. Allow yourself to play in the space of the quantum field because you have already entered into it. Though it may not fully be understood, you've spent much time there. There are many doorways to explore, but you are a transmitter of all of the knowledge that you've held within you from all the past lives that you've experienced.
Excellent, thank you. Anne D. wonders where her frequency and energy is most needed to assist humanity, please.
Two particular areas of your energy, this frequency, this vibration that you carry, are most effective. Animals and those young adults. The ones that have yet to fully experience a lifetime, but yet already understand where they've come from. The generation of young children that are being raised up, they already understand where they've come from, but now they must be adjusting to this new lifetime. And those are the children, those young adults, those are the ones that have the questions, those are the ones that are seeking. And you have to understand the overlay or the overlap between the children and the animals. For it is through the animals that will settle the space for these young adults to fully explore, and for you to place yourself in the midst of this and create a container of exploration, create a container of teaching and healing. That is where your energy is needed. That is where you are understanding. And for this has been within your awareness for some time. It is moving closer and closer into your existence, and it will approach very quickly. So allow yourself to surrender to that, for it is on your path.
Wonderful, thank you. Lauren G. had two dreams in close succession that mentioned something happening in 5 years. One where she and a love interest had to stay apart for 5 years and then could reconnect. And in the other, a child she was caring for told her that she would die alone in 5 years. Is there anything significant about the 5 years, or are those dreams related in some way?
For what you are witnessing, and what you have already understood of yourself, is the access to these parallel lifetimes, these expressions of self that all humans have, but many do not see them. For you have access to this and all of the lifetimes that are parallel to yours. Think of it as a bit of a multiverse that you exist within. You have access to it all at once. So yes, these two 5-year dreams are reality points within a lifetime that is already taking place. And you are entering in through the dream state into this parallel life that is just you, but on a different timeline, experiencing this. But what does it mean within your own physicality here on this current timeline? For it is for you as your awareness. You have those opportunities to jump into those timelines, to shift into those timelines and bring them into this reality timeline, if you so choose. Yes, one is catastrophic and one is a relationship. You have choices. There are many other timelines you can choose from as well. But these are the closest, the two that are the closest in alignment to this lifetime. Now, you do not have to choose any of those, but what you can do is learn from them. It is to go and explore into them further. Why is it the 5-year separation is necessary? For the 5-year separation is necessary for your own growth and expansion. Your consciousness is on a rapid expansion process. It requires this time period to fall into place. Now, does it need all 5 years? No. But that is the time period within that lifetime that it required for the relationship. It is showing you that you are expanding consciousness-wise faster than others. And so a 5-year period is a bit of an integration. Now, the relationship, yes, there is an opportunity for a relationship, whether that is a romantic relationship, a business relationship, a friendship, it does not matter. It is a relationship that is significant. Significant for your growth. The other lifetime with child and the transition of self. Do not look upon it as a physical transition of self. For yes, the birthing process is also, if you wish to look upon it, not of the child, but of self. See, this change in self, this expansion of self and in consciousness, there needs to be a rebirth and a death. A rebirthing of self and the death of the old. It is the cycling that takes place in all humans' existence. You've already done it a number of times in this lifetime, but you do not equate it quite as severely. But see, because your consciousness is expanding, you're seeing those lifetimes play out, and they are mirroring what is taking place in this lifetime to give you a bit of a premonition of what is to take place in your consciousness, an evolution, a change. But with that change, there is birth and death all at the same time. So, this is also to be said for those that are within the dream state, and they experience many different catastrophic events throughout their dream state. It is to release from the catastrophic aspect of it and understand there's a greater expanse within the information that is being provided. So, for those that are witnessing their parallel lives, understand them as a bit of a foreshadowing of your own existence, giving you tales of what is to come. It is a cheat card of your own existence now and what is to come and your expansion there within.
Thank you for that. Since you brought this up, Samantha Kay also has had 2 dreams recently that seemed to foretell catastrophic events. One involved a flash of light from the sun and her running for cover, and the second one involved a fire in a stairwell and then subsequently the need to get underwater for safety. Can you tell her about those, please?
The flash from the sun. For many understand there is going to be an event, an energetic event that is going to be a wash of energy. Now, many are going to perceive it in certain different ways, but it is going to be as if it is emanating from the sun. It'll be extreme here upon the planet. It will wash over everyone, changing their existence. Now, those that in the dream state, yes, it is a forecasting of that to come. More and more humans are going to begin to see these flashes even outside of the dream state. There was a period of time a number of years ago where you could say a test of your planetary systems took place, where micro bursts were placed upon the planet to test certain individuals to see if they were capable of seeing and sensing what was taking place. During the dream state, as you witness these are, yes, allowing you to understand it is to take place. It will all take place in its own divine time, but it is preparing the conscious state, the human state, for this period of time. Many are going to begin to have similar dreams of bursts of light, flashes that overwhelm them. And it is all adjustments. It is priming the system, if you wish. Then the fire, the stairwell, and the water. For the stairwell, this represents your own existence. It seems the further you climb, it doesn't seem as if there's any altitude that is gained. It feels as if you just are climbing a set of stairs that go nowhere at periods in your life. The fire is the fire that is within you, that is driving you to climb the stairs. The water is important because it is the refuge, the tranquility that you are seeking. For when you find yourself immersed in water, you find yourself weightless, you find yourself in a place that is peaceful. And that is where you are seeking. This is the climbing. The fire within is what is forcing you to climb. This is the what propels you up the stairs. But you seem at times not to ascend. It just is a repetitive motion of climbing. Change the perspective. Stop climbing. Allow the fire to continue, but find yourself in the water, in the peaceful aspect of your own existence. Bathed in that, surrounded by that, comforted by that. There's nothing to ascend to any point. That is a self-imposed stairwell that is closed at both ends. It is where you want to be, is in the water, the tranquil place, the comfort. So stop the climbing and allow yourself to be bathed in the water of your own existence.
Beautiful, thank you. And relative to the test of our planet with the light, what was the outcome of that?
For those that did experience those microbursts, they were adjusted appropriately. They have been the ones that have been expressing the forecoming of the event. They understand the necessity for humanity to go through this expansiveness event, this wave, if it were. For they have been upgraded in their consciousness to a point at which they do see just beyond the horizon. They will begin to tell you exactly when this event is to take place. And it won't be just one individual that will begin to say it. There will be a coordination between all individuals of when it will take place.
Good to know, thank you. Judy B has been feeling disconnected from hearing or sensing her guides for quite a while now and feeling kind of blah with no get up and go. What does she need to know about that, please?
For this is you can think of it as a bit of a holding pattern for yourself. A bit of a holding pattern for your next evolution of yourself. Now, why is this necessary? For you have done so much in such a short amount of time that you require this holding pattern. The holding pattern is necessary for the physicality and for the energetic systems to recalibrate themselves. Now, try as you may, this just prolongs the experience. Think of it as pushing on a balloon across the floor. You wish it to stay in place, but the more you push on it, it keeps moving just a bit ahead of you. This of yourself is exactly what is taking place. What is out in front of you is what you wish to capture. This reconnection to your guides and your team and all that you're connected to. But the more you try, the more it is just out of reach. It just is pushed a bit further. So, truly allow yourself to go into a place of surrender to your own humanness. Just relax into it. Do not try to question where they are and what they're doing and why aren't they speaking to me and why aren't they providing me any information. Why am I not feeling charged? Why am I not? The more of the whys, the more of the resistance. This is for all to understand, all humans to understand. Honor those moments to the deepest aspect of self when you feel as if you are in that holding pattern, that place where nothing is connected, nothing is heard, nothing is sensed. Honor that. Your team and your guides and all those that surround you have not left you. They understand that you are human. They understand you are a physical being and you require these moments. Though we, as humans, do not quite equate to that. So, allow yourselves just to settle and allow the time to lapse by and enjoy being human. This is a repetitive message for all to understand. Enjoy being human. The further you go down the road of understanding your own divinity, the more you want to experience it and live in it. But the human body cannot sustain that. It needs reset points. And the more you do, the longer those periods can be.
Thank you for that. Today is the 12/12 portal, and I understand that Metatron has a certain significance with this portal. Would Metatron like to provide a message about his role?
For this particular alignment of your 12/12 experience, For the container of energy that is imbued within the Merkaba itself, the sacred geometry of my experience, it is to understand it has, yes, an overlay, but to a greater detail, it is that is infused into your DNA. For inside each and every one of you, you already have that essence within you. Whether it has been unlocked or not, that is entirely up to your own human experience and which you wish to take on at the moment. But yes, across your planet, across your celestial skies, there is an overlay of the Merkaba. Now, if you wish to entertain yourself, step outside and cast your eyes to the sky and allow yourself to enter into this amplified field that has been placed upon you. And what you'll begin to see just out of the corners of your eyes are the points to that Merkaba. It will shift as you turn, but you'll see the stars that it is aligned to, amplified by just a twinkle here and a twinkle there, and it is just in your peripheral that you begin to see it. It is this of that overlay that is upon you, and begin to sense into the power of that field of energy. Now, how is this play out for your existence? Because it is within you. For those that have already understood this of themselves, each of your aspects of your DNA begin to resonate at a different frequency, and you begin to feel it. It feels as if you've been infused by a bit of electricity. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but you'll feel overwhelmed with excitement, joy, gratitude, love, all of it bundled into one space. This is what you are to carry out into the next several months. For this energy is one that has been placed upon you purposefully at this particular period of time because of humanity's expansion and nearing ascension. Humanity's experience with this ascension, yes, is new in this time frame, but it is much older in its existence with humans. This is not the first time. But you're requiring this amplification now, those that are assigned to the first wave. This is what will carry them over into that next dimension. For those that are not on that first wave, this is your preparation. This is your lock and key to open your own pathways of energy, of understanding your own divine self at this time. So as you now move forward, it is aligning yourself with different sets of vibrations that the frequencies are much higher, and you begin to perceive the world around you a bit differently. You begin to see humanity around you as not just the humans that stand before you, but a divine force, a divine entity. So as you process through this portal of sorts, this energy will carry out over the next several months for you. Allow yourselves to be cradled within it, and allow yourself to expand throughout it.
Thank you. And does this 12/12 align with the solstice on the 21st in creating some sort of passageway of time?
For if you take your divine numbering and understand the alignments there, it is all ones and twos, all broken down into ones, very angelic, very uplifting. Now, it isn't a transitional point, but this solstice period is one that there will be an opening in your galactic field. You being within this energy of the Merkaba will begin to allow you to assimilate to this galactic opening that will take place on that particular day. Now, as you move forward to this particular day, allow yourselves in your dream state to begin to experience and welcoming in your, shall it be understood, your galactic ancestry. For many of you are going to begin to be introduced to them to a very high level. And on that particular day, this is where all will begin to understand this for their, shall it be understood, their consciousness awakening.
Fantastic, thank you. Is there anything else we need to know from your perspective?
For it is just to allow yourselves to be immersed in this amplified field of this overlay that has been placed upon you.
Beautiful, thank you. And resuming with the collective, please.
Collective is present.
Just wondering if Harley's guides have a message for him this evening.
For this period of exploration that you have set yourself out upon, it is to understand that this is not a new process. This has begun much, much earlier in your existence. For as a small child, you understood your human existence to be much different. You perceived your existence much different. It is now where it is begin to make sense, but yet there is still, there are still question marks, but yet an eagerness to seek the answers to those questions. And this is the appropriate understanding for yourself, and this is precisely why you have chosen this lifetime, because of the exploration. And that if you were to peer back into the lifetimes of the past, you'll find being an explorer, a consciousness explorer, is not new to you. So as you move forward in these days to come, it is to expand even further the regions of your own consciousness, to understand the great expanse that lies before you, not just here in the physical realm, but that of the quantum existence all around you. And that is through your own consciousness. For there are many doorways that have been opened. Begin to explore each one of them and seek the answers that are within.
Wonderful, thank you. Before we close, do you have any final remarks for us this evening?
It is allowing this journey of this lifetime that you are in here upon the planet now to understand it much differently. Do not allow those moments just to trickle by. Do not allow them just to be awash in what you do. But it is to take inventory of a lifetime. It is to understand each of those moments, each of those seconds, and how you can be immersed in them. This life is more than just your physicality. And when you understand this beyond your physicality, that is the region where time does not exist, and you can explore so many different regions of your own existence. Dimensions, realities, lifetimes. For they are all there, right there in front of you. But it is until you understand the expansiveness of your own existence that you can attain those experiences. when you begin to slip the bounds of time. This is what you are here to explore. Your own existence, your own consciousness, and it is without time.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for being present today.
Thank you. And as always, the collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love.